Most personal finance advice tells you what not to buy. Don't upgrade your car. Don't buy expensive clothes. Don't spend more just because you're earning more. And for many people, that's good advice. But eventually, something changes. You build an emergency fund. You pay off expensive debt. You start investing consistently. You finally reach the point where you have money left over each month. Now the question isn't, how do I spend less? It's, where should this extra money go? Because here's the truth. Not every purchase is just an expense. Some purchases quietly improve your health. Some make you more productive. Some strengthen your relationships. And some continue paying you back for years without producing a single dollar of investment return. Today, I want to share 10 things I'd upgrade immediately once my financial foundation was secure. Not because they're luxurious. Because they create value almost every single day. Let's start with the one upgrade that affects nearly everything else. Imagine two people who both receive the same promotion at work. We'll call them Alex and Ben. Both receive the same salary increase. Alex immediately upgrades his lifestyle. A newer phone, a more expensive car, designer clothes. Nothing wrong with those purchases, but after a few months, his daily routine feels almost exactly the same. Ben makes a different decision. Instead of asking, "What can I buy?" he asks, "What creates the biggest improvement in my everyday life?" That one question completely changes where his money goes. Instead of chasing status, he invests in the quality of his days. That's an important distinction. Money isn't valuable because it sits in your bank account. It's valuable because it gives you choices. The challenge is choosing upgrades that continue creating value long after you've paid for them. Before we begin, one important point. This video assumes your financial basics are already in place. You have an emergency fund. You're regularly investing for long-term goals. You're not carrying expensive high-interest debt that should be paid off first. These upgrades come after those priorities. They're designed to improve your life, not replace responsible financial planning. So if I had extra money available today, here's the first thing I'd improve. Upgrade your sleep. You spend roughly 1/3 of your life sleeping. Yet many people think more carefully about buying a television than they do about buying a mattress. That never made much sense to me. Sleep affects almost everything. Your concentration, your patience, your mood, your ability to learn, your physical recovery, even the financial decisions you make during the day. Research consistently shows that poor sleep reduces attention, memory, reaction time, and decision-making ability. In other words, if your sleep suffers, the rest of your life usually feels harder too. That's why I'd stop thinking about a mattress as furniture. I'd think about it as equipment. The same applies to pillows, blackout curtains, comfortable bedding, or anything else that genuinely improves sleep quality. Notice something interesting. None of these purchases are exciting after the first week. Nobody compliments your mattress. Nobody notices your blackout curtains. But you notice the difference every single morning. That's the kind of purchase I like. One that quietly improves thousands of ordinary days instead of creating one exciting weekend. Because wealth isn't measured only by what you own. It's also measured by how you feel living your everyday life. Once your sleep improves, the next upgrade becomes much easier. The next upgrade becomes much easier. Upgrade number 2, your health. Many people only think about healthcare after something goes wrong. But good health is easier to protect than it is to rebuild. That's why one of the smartest upgrades isn't waiting until you're sick. It's making healthcare easier to access before you need it. Exactly what that looks like depends on where you live. Some employers provide health benefits that employees never fully use. Others may need private coverage or regular preventive care, depending on their healthcare system and personal circumstances. The important idea isn't buying the most expensive plan. It's reducing unnecessary barriers that stop you from looking after your health. Think about routine checkups, dental care, vision care, physical therapy when it's needed. Preventive care often feels expensive today. Ignoring small health problems can become much more expensive later. Health works a little like compound interest. Small investments made consistently can produce meaningful benefits over many years. And unlike almost every financial investment, good health improves every part of your life at the same time. Which brings us to the next upgrade. One that's less visible than a new car, but often far more valuable over the long run. Upgrade number 3. Your financial system. Once your health is in good shape, I turn my attention to something most people rarely think about. Not another investment. The system behind my investments. Many people work hard to earn money. Far fewer build a system that helps them keep more of it. That's why I'd spend time organizing my financial life before trying to earn another dollar. First, I'd make sure I fully understand every retirement or tax-advantaged account available to me. The exact accounts depend on where you live. Some countries offer retirement accounts with tax benefits. Others provide employer-sponsored retirement plans. If your employer offers matching retirement contributions, it's worth understanding how the program works and whether you're contributing enough to receive the full benefit. After that, I'd review where my money actually sits. Many people leave large amounts of cash in accounts earning very little while inflation gradually reduces its purchasing power over time. Now, that doesn't mean every dollar should be invested. Money needed for emergencies or near-term expenses belongs somewhere safe and accessible. But money meant for long-term goals should have a clear purpose instead of sitting idle indefinitely. A good financial system removes unnecessary decisions. You know where your paycheck goes. You know how much you're saving. You know how much you're investing. And you know what every account is supposed to accomplish. That clarity reduces stress because your money starts working according to a plan instead of reacting to whatever happens each month. Once your finances are organized, the next upgrade isn't about money anymore. It's about the place where you spend most of your life. Upgrade number 4, your home environment. Your home environment. Think about how many hours you spend inside your home every week. It's where you sleep, where you relax, where many people now work, where you recharge before facing another day. Yet it's surprisingly common to tolerate little problems for years. A chair that's uncomfortable, poor lighting, a noisy bedroom, a workspace that hurts your back after a few hours. Individually, each problem feels small. Together, they quietly affect every single day. That's why I'd stop asking whether something is expensive. I'd start asking how often I use it. If I use something every day, improving it often delivers far more value than buying something I'll only enjoy occasionally. Research even suggests that simple improvements to our environment can influence mood and well-being. For example, indoor plants have been associated with modest reductions in stress for many people. An organized workspace may reduce distractions. Good lighting can make reading and working more comfortable. None of these upgrades are dramatic, but together, they create a space that supports the life you're trying to build. The goal isn't to own a luxury home. The goal is to create an environment that makes ordinary days feel a little better. Because extraordinary lives are usually built from thousands of ordinary days. That leads naturally to another investment many people overlook. Upgrade number 5, your skills. Your skills. Most purchases lose value over time. A phone becomes outdated. A car depreciates. Fashion changes. Skills are different. The right skill can continue creating opportunities for years. That's why I'd always keep a portion of my budget dedicated to learning. But I'd be selective. Not every course is worth buying. Not every certification improves your career. Before spending money, I'd ask one simple question. Will this skill help me solve a problem that employers, clients, or businesses are willing to pay for? If the answer is yes, it's worth exploring further. Sometimes that might be technical training, sometimes communication skills, sometimes leadership, negotiation, or project management. People often focus only on technical knowledge, but many careers are accelerated by the ability to explain ideas clearly, work well with others, and solve problems under pressure. Those abilities become valuable in almost every industry. Learning also creates another advantage: confidence. The more capable you become, the less you rely on luck. Instead of hoping opportunities appear, you're better prepared when they do. That's a much stronger position than simply waiting for a promotion or a better job. And once you've invested in your ability to earn, the next logical step is protecting something just as valuable: your time. Upgrade number 6, your time. As your income grows, your time often becomes more valuable too. Yet many people continue spending hours every week on tasks they neither enjoy nor need to do themselves. That doesn't mean outsourcing everything. It means recognizing that some purchases don't buy products, they buy time. Research in behavioral science suggests that spending money to save time can improve life satisfaction for many people. The reason is simple: time is one resource you can never earn back. Maybe that means hiring someone to deep clean your home once a month. Maybe it's using a meal preparation service during a particularly busy period. Maybe it's paying for software that automates repetitive work. The right answer is different for everyone. The goal isn't convenience for its own sake. It's removing low-value tasks so you can spend more time on work that matters, people you care about, or simply getting enough rest. Money can't create more hours in a day, but it can help you spend those hours more intentionally. And once you've protected your time, the next upgrade becomes much more rewarding. Upgrade number 7, your hobbies and relationships. One of the biggest mistakes people make after becoming financially successful is allowing work to become their entire identity. Career growth is important, but it shouldn't be the only thing growing. Research consistently shows that enjoyable leisure activities are associated with better well-being and lower levels of stress. The same is true for meaningful relationships. That's why I'd intentionally spend money on experiences that strengthen both. Maybe it's joining a sports club, learning an instrument, taking cooking classes, traveling with family, or simply making time for activities you genuinely enjoy. Notice the difference. These purchases aren't about impressing other people. They're about building a life you actually want to live. Because financial independence isn't just having enough money. It's having a life that's worth being financially independent for. That's an investment many people don't appreciate until much later. Upgrade number 8, your physical and mental well-being. Health isn't something you finish improving. It's something you continue maintaining. Regular physical activity has been linked to better cardiovascular health, improved mood, stronger cognitive function, and a lower risk of many chronic diseases. But knowing that isn't always enough. The difficult part is staying consistent. That's why accountability can sometimes be a worthwhile investment. For some people, that's a personal trainer. For others, it might be fitness classes, a running group, or simply paying for an activity they genuinely enjoy enough to continue. The best exercise plan isn't necessarily the most efficient one. It's the one you'll still be following next year. Mental health deserves the same attention. Many people invest thousands of dollars improving their homes while ignoring what's happening inside their own minds. Depending on individual needs, therapy, counseling, or coaching may provide meaningful benefits. The important point is recognizing that mental well-being influences almost every financial and personal decision we make. Looking after it isn't a luxury. It's part of maintaining the person who's responsible for every other investment. Upgrade number 9, your confidence through skills and presentation. Confidence doesn't come from expensive brands. It comes from feeling prepared. That's why I'd spend money on things that genuinely help me show up at my best. Sometimes that's improving communication skills. Sometimes it's public speaking training. Sometimes it's simply wearing clothes that fit properly and feel comfortable. Research on enclothed cognition suggests that what we wear can influence how we think and perform, although the effects are generally modest. The goal isn't chasing fashion trends. It's removing small sources of self-consciousness so your attention stays focused on what actually matters. When you feel comfortable, you're more likely to speak with confidence, build stronger relationships, and make better first impressions. Those benefits often extend far beyond your wardrobe. Upgrade number 10, your future, not your lifestyle. Finally, there's one upgrade that quietly makes every other upgrade sustainable. Don't let every raise become a spending raise. Lifestyle inflation happens slowly. A nicer car, a larger home, more subscriptions, more monthly payments. Individually, none seem significant. Together, they can consume nearly every increase in income. Instead, I'd make one habit automatic. Every time my income increases, I'd also increase the amount I'm saving or investing before upgrading my lifestyle. That way, my future improves alongside my present. Money should create freedom, not bigger financial obligations. So once you start earning more, don't ask, "What can I afford now?" Ask a better question. What purchase will still be improving my life 5 years from today? The answers probably won't be the flashiest ones, but they'll often be the most valuable. Because the best upgrades aren't the ones that make you look wealthier. They're the ones that make your life healthier, calmer, more productive, and more meaningful. That's what money is ultimately for. Thanks for watching.